Hello, I'm Justin Perkins, and welcome to Talk Junkie. A little bit different, especially if you're watching this on YouTube. It's actually a video podcast, something I've not done in a while. I've done a lot of stuff here lately and talked a lot about what I planned on doing with the show, if I was going to keep doing the show, and if I was, what I was going to do with it. And I pretty well think I've come to the conclusion of what I'm going to do. I am going to keep doing the show. I'm just going to do it a little differently. When I first started doing this show, it was push out stuff as quick and hard and fast as I could, and people got used to 4 or 5 episodes a week, and that's really not practical. It's not something that I can do and make good podcasts, and so it's not really what I'm out to do. And obviously, you can tell by the amount of podcasts I've been putting out recently, that's not happening. Another thing I've realized is the show's a lot better with guests. I've been doing a lot of podcasts. I just recently done Supernatural Trucker or Paranormal Trucker podcast. So go check that out. It's available only on YouTube, but go check it out. It was really fun. I enjoyed doing it. Paranormal Trucker Bart, Large Marge, Snowman, great people. I was on there with a guy named Seth from Seth's Daily Podcast. I'd done his show not too long back. That dude does a podcast a day. It's called Seth's Daily Podcast for a reason. He's knocking out a podcast a day, and my mind is blown at even being able to attempt that. But he has really big guests, and he has some cool guests, and all these are local shows. Obviously, I've been on here to Bubblegum quite a few times, not since the hosting changed, but that's supposed to change. If nothing changes, I will be on here to Bubblegum on September the 5th, I believe. I think the show will release that day. So fingers crossed nothing changes. I will be on there. And that will be a very important episode for me because that's going to influence an episode on down the road of Talk Junkie. And I really, really, really want to thank those guys for letting me come on there. All those are local podcasts right here where I'm from. And they're really fun podcasts to do. I done a podcast episode and sat on it for almost a year and then released it. And once I did, I become aware of some other podcasts. And, the first podcast, I did some podcasts for the book. And not to be disrespectful at all, I have no idea. I can't remember. I did do a radio show that now is a podcast called Voice in the Mountains. Great radio show. But I've done a lot of stuff for the books. But the first podcast I ever done locally that I was on was a show called Raven Television Addict. And look, it's not like anything else I've been on. And I mean that in a good way. It's not for the kids. It's not for the faint of heart. It's just fun. And I enjoyed doing it. And hold on one second. Let me check messages. If everything works out with both of them, both the guys, well, the host of Raven Television Addict, and which was that show. I don't even know if I mentioned that show because I'm all over the place because I'm hyper. The host of that show, Brad, as well as the host of the show Randomness Capture Live, who was also on Raven Television Addict a lot. And I don't know, if they want to use real names. I found out that it's probably the route I should have went to begin with. It's not use real names, but I want them on, and I just got a verification back from them that they're going to do their best. We're going to try to work in something for the 1st of October. Everybody knows I'm a huge movie fanatic, and I do my movies based on certain criteria. There's certain movies I watch every summer, and if you go back and listen to the summer episode, summer movies I watch every year, I covered some of those on there. I've got Halloween movies. I've got Christmas movies. That's my 3 big things. And we're going to sit down and talk Halloween movies at the 1st of October. So that's really, really fun. But check out these local podcasts because it is a local thing. Like Seth's Daily Podcast is only YouTube. Currently, Paranormal Trucker is only YouTube. If you live locally where I live, which is none of your business, but if you track down this show, I'm sorry, there's something in my mind that's killing me. If you track down this show here at You Bubblegum, it's on radio stations, it's everywhere. So, but they're on YouTube, but they're anywhere you can find a podcast. They're also on Anchor Podcasts like myself. So is the Spooky Family, which is an amazing podcast. It's a local podcast here. Try to do a collaboration with those people coming up. Like I said, check out those podcasts. It's kind of what motivates me to do podcasts, and I really enjoy doing the podcast. But I think in order for me to do this podcast and it be worth the number of people I want to listen to it and to keep the number of people I have listening to it, there has to be some kind of, value to it. It has to be at least entertaining and not just me talking all the time. And my little thought exercises, I can understand those get boring from time to time. And everybody always tells me how much they love them. But, looking at it realistically, from the inside looking out and from the outside looking in, I can't understand how that can be a sustainable thing for one, me to do, and two, people to continue to listen to. So this is what you're looking at getting. First thing is scheduling wise. I noticed all those episodes, all those podcasts I talked about. Raven Television Addicts not around right now. I'm hoping they'll bring that back, but they kind of went on the crazy spectrum like I did and just did it anytime they wanted. I think that's what I liked about it. It was so fun. But you look at Seth's Daily Podcast, obviously it's daily. Here at You Bubble comes every Sunday. Paranormal Trucker, I know we recorded on Sunday. I'm slower, and I can't wait until he goes audio and hits iTunes and stuff, because I'm slower picking that up on YouTube and getting that notification. I don't like that. I like for it to be in my downloads on iTunes. I'm still an iTunes guy. I'm sorry. I know I'm on Spotify, and I run Spotify ads, and they're good to in a lot of degrees, but finding it, downloading it, and being able to listen to it when I'm out of service is 100 times easier on iTunes. But I can't wait for them to get on there. Spooky Family, I don't know if I mentioned, I think they're Thursdays. Here at You Bubblegum Sundays. So it's better if you can get some sort of a schedule. I don't ever like to bind myself down or tie myself into anything permanently. It's just, I'm not good at that, and I don't enjoy that. So, but I'm going to say this. This is what I'm looking at schedule-wise. The second and fourth Sunday of every month, you're looking at getting 2 episodes, or an episode each of those times. One of those episodes will be audio only, and it will be on all the regular places, Spotify, iTunes, all that. The other one will be video when possible, and you will get it on YouTube and iTunes, Spotify, Anchor, and all that. Obviously, you'll get the video on YouTube and the audio on the other platforms. I say when possible because some people don't like to be on film, and it's going to be a matter of how I'm able to work that out, and also where I'm at and how I'm able to record. If I'm able to have the setup I currently have in front of me, then it's easy for me to do video via Zoom or whatever. But if I don't, then audio is going to be a much easier avenue for me. Now, is that to say that's the only 2 episodes you'll get every month? In December, that's likely. I'm a Christmasaholic. I don't know if I'll have time, but no. I mean, there's going to be times I've just got something to say where I'm going to jump in and, probably do a small podcast here to here. But that means the main birth of what you're going to get is going to be those 2 podcasts, and you can kind of bank on those 2 podcasts, and there's some sort of a formula for those 2 podcasts, and as many of those podcasts as possible. I mean, I'll be completely honest with you. I hope it's 100% of them will have guests. I'm selective over guests and selective over topics, and that's fine. That's, that's me coming out in the show. And if I don't come out in the show, then it's not really my show. Shameless plug for Giovanni's. But having said that, the other shows very well may just be me. I don't know. And there may be months you end up getting 8 shows that month. There may be a lot of months you just get 2, because schedule will dictate that this is not my humble abode. This is a rented place. And I don't know, there's a lot of nights I'm home. There's a lot of nights I'm in different states. There's a lot of days I'm in different states for the long majority of the day, and I'm just home to sleep. So everything itches. As soon as the camera comes on, everything itches, and it drives me crazy. But that's kind of what it is. And anytime I miss a show, I'd like to make the show up if at all possible. Now, I had to come up with a plan to get me to that point. The first guest I can tell you for sure is Mandy Fugit. We've had her on here before, the Live from the Newt show, and it's a really fun. It's really fun for me. I'm trying to look and see what we had scheduled here, what we talked about here. It's really fun for me to have Mandy on because it's one of my oldest friends, one of my best friends, and somebody that I really enjoy talking to. Somebody that it doesn't really matter what the topic is. We have some frame of reference, how the other one's thinking about it. Anyway, looking at this, I don't have it on here, and I don't know why it's not on here because none of that message is showing. But I assure you that the conversation was had. Anyway, topic will be something around mental health. It will be in September. She didn't give me an exact date. I didn't give her an exact date. She was shooting for the 5th. I will be doing another podcast on the 5th, but that doesn't mean it won't be possible. Now, will it be video or audio? I don't know. With Mandy, somebody that I'm comfortable talking to and somebody I know is pretty comfortable talking, I would like to do video. It's fun. It's as close as I'm going to get to being right face to face with somebody. So that episode is coming up. So I'll have Mandy on. That'll be one of your September episodes. Now, the Raven Television Addict Randomness Captured Live Halloween episode will be right around the 1st of Halloween because I've got plans to try to have some other people, maybe even those guys, back on for another Halloween themed episode. So that one, I can almost assure you that one won't be video. These guys are smart enough to not be completely open with who they are all the time so that they can say absurd things and have fun, something I should have done. And based on my schedule and a couple of things that they do, it may just have to be one of those things where we use the phone. And so it probably won't be a video. So, but I'd like to get it into the 1st of October there somewhere. Now, these Sundays are not written in stone. If I get a podcast done on a Wednesday for some reason, it's not supposed to release till that Sunday, I'm probably going to release it anyway. But you can look at it as by that date, you should get it. And that's, tentatively. I don't do good with schedules. So that's the two things coming up that I'm definite about. Bart from the Paranormal Trucker, I mean, we just can't. His schedule is hectic. We're having a hard time. We record the same day usually. And that's the guys from Here to Chew Bubblegum. We just haven't been able to get a day, and we record the same day. And, both of those shows involve multiple people. It's not just one host having to get in and get this worked out. So, it's a little harder for them. And I understand that, but they're both very good candidates down the road. And that's two shows I really want to have on my show and interview from. It's two shows I've done and really enjoy. Same goes for the Spooky Family. Around Halloween, I'd really like to have those guys on because that is going to be their prime month. I don't know if I'll be able to get them. I'm assuming they're going to be extremely busy. Haven't got a chance to reach out to them yet, but that's what I'm looking forward to. Now, there is going to be at least 2, possibly more. It's going to depend on how this works out. Anybody that knows me knows that when I find something and get interested in it, I go a little overboard. When I see something that I don't think is correct or I have questions about, I go a little overboard. There is a certain website and a certain uh, entity, and I got to be careful what I call them. I could see this being a legal nightmare, but they're inaccurate and they're very false and very misleading about who they are and what they're doing and how much of their actual presence is real. And so I have put in hours and hours and hours of research and documentation and contacting Freedom of Information request, paying for number traces, um, talking numerous times to quite a few property owners and realtors who um, own real estate these people claim to inhabit. Talking with Washington D.C. and their Secretary of State and their state records and who's here and who's there. A lot of national registries, a lot of business registries and LLC registries and all these different things. Try to verify proof, and then that led me to a lot of phone numbers and addresses become a big deal because they were inaccurate and they were registered to multiple entities. And the thing about this website and all the entities connected to it is everything kind of comes back to give me some money. And they're using a cause that I don't particularly agree with or in, but a lot of people do. And I think what they're doing is taking advantage of these people that believe this, that believe in this way. And also, I feel like they are not promoting a good environment socially for the rest of the country by one, promoting this thing, and then two, it's not a good thing to take advantage of people, and three, where's this money going and what's it going to? I've talked to a couple of different reporters everywhere from Louisiana to Austin, Texas. I've reached out to building owners in Irvine, California, Washington, D.C., New Orleans. Not a lot adds up, and it was a lot of tracking down people, places, and things. And I've put a ton of work into this, and I'm going to put this podcast out as it comes. Having said that, there's two people involved directly and somewhat indirectly with this organization, one heavily involved, that I believe I may be able to access as guest. If that's possible, I hope they don't watch this first. But if they do, they do. I really don't know. It's a horrible idea mentioning any of this ahead of time, but this kind of gives you guys an idea because regardless if anybody speaks to me or not, I have the proof, and I'm going to try to dissect that proof as best I can and get it out there. So that's going to happen. Now, if the interview with Mandy does happen to be second Sunday of September, and the first episode of this falls fourth Sunday of September, and then I'm able to do this, the Halloween movie, the fall movie episode. That may not be one of your, 2 episodes for October because it may have to be an extra. It will still happen, but I may have to put it in between episodes of this. And I do believe that with enough eyes on it and enough promotion that this investigative deal I've been working on, especially based on a couple of conversations I've had with a couple of investigative journalists, I believe this would be the biggest podcast episodes I've ever done, and it's probably going to get me some attention way outside of my normal listeners. So those people are really going to be disappointed after they're done with these couple of episodes, and there's nothing of that value left. But that's what is coming now. Difference in presentation. Obviously, if you're watching this on YouTube, it's the video. That's not something I generally do. And it's not something that I've done in the past. Reason being, I'm not real good with technology. And, I mean, that's really it. Capturing audio and video at the same time, mixing, I'm not satisfied with the quality of this video. It's a laptop, it's Zoom. It's nothing Zoom did wrong. Could be the quality of my laptop, could be the settings I have turned on. I don't know. But with Zoom, I'm able to take this file, upload the entire thing. Hopefully, you may not even see this on YouTube. You may just hear this on the podcast, and I failed miserably at the tech side of this, and the video never made it to YouTube. I don't know. But hopefully, I can take this one recording, put the entirety of it, video and audio, on YouTube, audio on Anchor, and get both out. That I've done to some degree in the past. If you were back with me in the Spreaker days, Spreaker automatically uploaded my audio to YouTube for me, so I didn't have to worry about that. I think my power's about to go out because it's storming like crazy here, and if it does, yeah, that sucks. But so that's different for me to be doing that. And if I get a lot of people just don't want to do the video when we do interviews, you may see less of it, you may see more of it. I don't know. The big thing is I am going to push out to social media. If you want to get a hold of me on Instagram, it's author J Perkins on Instagram. I'll probably post some links to shows. It won't be a ton, more than likely. But I am going to go to Facebook and start a Talk Junkie page. So look for Talk Junkie on Facebook. There was an existing page at one time. I had a little help from somebody else, and it's gone. I don't know, because I didn't want to do that, and it was I felt like I was forced into that. They ran it. They canceled it. They don't listen to the show anymore. It is what it is. I don't have control of that, but I am going to put one on, and I'll try to find a way to link it up, maybe put it in the YouTube, but that may allow for a little more interaction. Definitely allow for me to get this new series, the investigative piece, out to more people. It's come to my attention in some of the chats over the last 100 and some episodes, that some people who listen to this probably believe pretty heavily in this website and in this cause and in what I investigated and looked into. I've always been open and adamant of my disbelief in that. And I'm being vague, but if I don't, it kind of ruins it. It won't take long in the first episode to figure out what I'm talking about. It's a matter of who. But we've always been able to agree to disagree. And there's a couple listeners that have been really good friends, and we've always communicated really well. And I hate to lose somebody listening to the show, not because I hate to lose listeners. I don't have that many listeners. Yeah, I don't know if anybody's really listening. Maybe they're just downloading and sending an email or once in a while going, it was okay. I don't know. But understand it's not an attack on you. It's something that I'm very emotional about, and I believe in a lot, is that what these people do are wrong, and understand that I'm not attacking you as a person or even your beliefs. Just saying that even though I may not agree with what they're doing or what their belief structure is, to be more specific, I may not agree with what their belief structure is, but the big thing is, even if you do agree with what their belief structure is, what they're doing and who they're possibly funding is troublesome and wrong. And again, it's not an attack on somebody, it's an attack on something. And I wouldn't even consider it an attack on that. I could be wrong. And I'm going to give them every opportunity that I'm able to give them via contacting them once I get into this to respond back and, to explain it a little bit And if I'm wrong, I'll concede that. And again, I'm not saying I'm 100% right. I've been wrong so many times. Ask my wife. It's a pattern. I'm a habitual inaccurate person. I'm habitually inaccurate. Um, I'm a habitual line stepper occasionally, and maybe stepping a line I shouldn't step. I don't know. Um, but I look forward to doing it one way or the other. And it may be something that comes back over episode after episode after episode. And the ideal is to do a lot more episodes like that. It's just hard to do those episodes by yourself. It's hard to do those episodes being the only researcher and the only editor and the only not tech person and the only voice and the only brain and the only mind. And that's hard. And I have a vision and an ideal for what I want to do. And I have rules and beliefs that I want to stick to. And it's hard to share that control with someone else. It's hard for me to find someone that's a lot like myself that not only says they really dislike both political parties equally, but really dislikes both political parties equally. It's hard to find someone that thinks the way I think, and that's probably a good thing. And it's not to say I want a doppelganger co-host. I don't. There's people I'm very, very different than who would make very, very good co-hosts, and they have very little uh, desire to do that. And it's hard to find somebody that wants to put the time in and wants to do that, and it's something existing that's not theirs. And it could be, but not everybody looks at it that way. And there's people that I'm really good friends with that I really like that it wouldn't work. And so, and until that Prince Charming, that perfect person comes along, it's just me. That's who you got. And so that makes it, a little harder to dive as deeply as I dived into this. I mean, pages and pages and pages and hours and hours and hours, and driving my wife literally insane discussing it. It's it it's different, but it's very fun. That investigative side of it. That did I catch something? Did I find out something that I shouldn't have found out? Something that somebody was trying to hide from me? And shameless plug for Giovanni's, and be dishonest about. That got me excited. And also, it's something that I disagree with, and I think is very detrimental to social fabric. Let's put it that way. But either way, that's so you've got YouTube's going to work with YouTube here. Reels on Instagram. I'm probably going to try to do some reels for Instagram. Social media on Facebook. I'll post some videos and some links to episodes there. Please share those, get them out. Email, send me email. Listenership has went up a little bit. Emails have went down a little bit. Same old people send emails. Keep sending them. I'm not asking you not to send them. Don't change your name. Don't be dishonest. Don't do anything like that. I'm still going to read yours at the same frequency, or the same. That word just popped out. It's not. Anyway, I'm going to read them just as much as I would have before. But when Malik writes in 4 times a week, and I end up reading 2 of those in a 2-week span, everybody's like, "So is Malik the only guy that listens, or is Malik real?" So send it in. It's talkjunkie@gmail.com. It's fell off a lot, which I know I'm not doing a lot of shows, but used to. And even during that long break, the diehard guys were constantly sending stuff back and forth. But please send me an email. Send me in show ideas, guest ideas. If you want to be a guest, send it on. Look, not going to be rude, but I'm not going to be dishonest. I'm very picky, not just for me, for you. I've seen people go on podcasts and then be great guests or great people or great at what they do, and they don't fit with the show, the host, or the principal of the show, and it hurts everybody. Nobody comes out. It's a bad show for that show. It's a bad experience for that person, and it's not good about getting their name out about whatever they're wanting to get their name out. Nothing good can come from it. So I am particular, very particular. It's the way I am. I don't, if I've got a topic that relates to you in some way, shape, or form coming up, yes. 200, episode 200. I don't know if I'm going to hit that this physical year. If I don't hit it in 2021, I will definitely hit it in 2022. My dream would have been another Four Horsemen podcast for that 200th. Josh White, one of the people who was on that original episode, is no longer with us. And I thought about getting the remaining three together. The other two's never really expressed a lot of interest in doing that. And I think it would be really emotional and hard for them. And I don't think it'd be the same or be as fun without Josh. So I kind of threw that idea out. And I thought with Zoom, you can get a lot of people on. So, not everybody at once, but maybe get on as many of the local podcasters as I can. A show I forgot to mention earlier, it's a great show, Down on the Holler with Brad and Jordan. Phenomenal local show, available everywhere. They've got a really cool thing going on right now, 606 Food Challenge. So check that out. Just give out my area code. There people go. The sleuths can start. And anyway, I've lost complete and total train of thought. But for that 200th episode, try to get a bunch of those people on. I don't know how long this is because I have not been watching a timer, but I bet it's long and it wasn't supposed to be. It's supposed to be, one of them quick little videos. This is going to be a nightmare to upload to YouTube, but it is what it is. Thank you all very much for listening. My books, Creating the Perfect Slave, Cold Kingdom, both poetry books, available at Red Spot in Newton, Hazard, Kentucky. She will deliver. She is cheaper than Amazon. I implore you, please, if you're going to buy it from there. If for whatever reason, especially being out of country or whatever, because the show's hit or miss, I'm not going to lie to you, get people every once in a while, I'll get a listen here, listen there. But if you are for some reason out of country and you hear this, the book does really well out of country. You can get it on Amazon, is available on Amazon Prime for free shipping. Get both those books there. Everyone's different, just like me. I would say you can probably still get it at the Newton. If you can't, send her a message. She don't have it, she can get it from me. I'll get her some or whatever. But if she is out of stock, I'm pretty sure she probably don't have, because I don't even know if I ever sold her any copies of The Boy with Super Hearing. But both of those, Boy with Super Hero and Everybody Is Different Just Like Me, that I've done with my son, both those children's books. They're just simple little children's books I've done with my son, but they were fun, and he likes the idea that people want to buy them, and he's a really good promoter, and he loves to mention they're available on Amazon. So they are available on Amazon, both with Amazon Prime and free shipping. If you do buy anywhere, whether it be Amazon or the Red Spotted Note, please go leave a review. That is life or death as an author. And I think me being an author is about dead, but still, it means a lot to me. Don't suck, don't die, and be good to people.